What are the 3 most important things that you need to know to succeed in sales? What are the 3 most important things that you need to know to succeed in sales? These are what I think are the most important things you need to know and practice in order to have a successful sales career. Number 1, sales is a numbers game. Imagine you work in a car dealership. Let's say you work for Kia, and you stand in the dealership, and you're waiting for people to come into the store, and people do come in and they look at the car, and then they play with the radio, they play with the steering wheel, and then sometimes they leave, right? How many people that walk into the door actually buy a car from you? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about all the prospects that you talk to. How many of them actually bought something from you? The reality is that you are going to close about 2%. All the prospects that you meet, only about 2% on average of all the prospects will buy something from you. If you're a good salesperson, you know all the sales technique, you follow up with them, and you ask for referrals, all the technical stuff we will talk about in the future. If you employ them, maybe your sales close rate will go up to 5%. But if if you don't know anything about sales, maybe it could be 0% or 1%. So the reality is sales is a numbers game. The more people you reach, the more sales you will close. So in a way, in sales, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And this is something that Donald Trump once said in one of his speeches. He feels that he's a very lucky person, but because he works really, really hard, and that's why he gets all the luck in the world. And now he's the president of the United States. So as a good salesperson that really wants to succeed in sales, you gotta get up early in the morning. You gotta be the first person to the office, and you have to be the last person to leave. And when everybody else is having their hour-and-a-half or 2-hour lunch break, you are there calling customers. You're calling prospects. You're following up with your customers nonstop. So the more you do, the more result you will get. Sales is a numbers game. My mentor once told me, my mentor said, sales or anything else you do in life is like, it's like kissing frogs. You know the story, you kiss a frog, the frog turns into a prince, right? Well, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. So lesson number 1, sales is a numbers game. If you don't understand that, if you don't practice that, if you don't understand that the more you do, the more you get, forget sales. It's not a career for you. Try working at a coffee shop. Number 2, the number 2 most important thing, in my opinion, and I'm right, to succeed in sales is to sell on emotions. People do not buy on logic reasonings. People do not buy because they calculated, they spreadsheet everything out, they calculated the value versus cost. They don't do that. Most people don't. For example, I just recently bought a GoPro camera, right? Because I want to do videos. And then I walk into the video store, and the salesperson sold me on GoPro, and he sold me on what I can do, what kind of great videos I can produce with the camera that he's gonna sell me. He's totally sold me on emotions. Oh yeah, he said, oh yeah, I do blogs too, and this is the camera that I use, and with this camera you're gonna produce really high quality videos, and your viewers will enjoy the high quality videos that you produce. And I'm like, well, I didn't even ask for any discounts. I'm like, yeah, just give it to me, right? You always sell emotions. Let's use another example, right? Let's see, let's look around. Let's say, well, hand sanitizers, right? Hand sanitizers. When you sell, let's say you're a hand sanitizer salesperson. Are you gonna sell them on the ingredients it's got? Sorry, I can't read Vietnamese, but it's got like say 90% alcohol and water and glycerin and fragrance. It smells nice and right. So, do you think people buy on those attributes, or do you think why do people want to buy this? Because they want to kill germs. They want to be safe. They don't want to get infected by coronavirus, right? That's the reason why they bought this. So how do you sell it? Well, appeal to their emotional trigger. This is going to keep you safe. This is going to keep your family safe. This has very strong ingredients to kill all the germs on your hands. It's going to protect you and your family. That's ultimately what they want when they buy this, right? Make sure you reach their emotional trigger. You trigger an emotion in them to make them make the purchasing decision. I have so many examples. Like for example, right? When's the last time you went to a bookstore and you bought a book and you took it home and you never read it? Like even I do it, right? So because when you're in the bookstore, you thought about, if I buy this book, if I read this, I'm gonna learn something about it's an emotional decision. I'm gonna buy this book, I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna learn something about, say, digital marketing, I'm gonna build a career in digital marketing, for example. You bought on that emotion, all right? But unfortunately, for most people, that emotion is very short-lived. You went home, you forgot about it, and you put the book in the bookshelf and you never read it. We're gonna talk more about that. That's actually not a good behavior. Now, number three. I want to talk about the third most important thing, in my opinion, to be a great salesperson is to sell on value proposition, right? So don't sell on price or discount. Never negotiate on price. If you negotiate on price, it's going to be very hard for you or your company or your employer to make money because you're always comparing with somebody else. You're always comparing your product with somebody else on price. Instead, you should sell on value proposition. What does this product provide to you? Well, this product is going to help you build an e-commerce website connected to your mobile app. Nobody has this. We are the only company that can provide this for you, and also connect with your offline physical store. Like you have integrated inventory, always inventory on your website and your store. They're always synchronized. Like you sell things that other people don't have. It's a unique selling point for your product. You push the value. You tell people why this product will help the customer, right? Well, first of all, you need to understand their problem, but we'll talk more about that. But you must understand. You must push on the value proposition, and then once they understand what this product can do for them, once the customer understands it, once the prospect understands it, then trust me, price is no object. Once they believe you have the product that solves all of their problems, they will not negotiate. They will not even consider price. When customers talk to you about price, that means one thing: the customer doesn't really understand your product yet. They don't understand fully what the product can do for them. They don't understand the value. So the cost and the value don't match up. They think, I have to pay this much to get this little value. That's why they want a discount. But once you explain the value is this much and they're paying only this, it's a no-brainer for them. So sales is a numbers game. Sell on emotions. And lastly, always sell on value proposition and not price. Don't be a fucktard. Always take fucking action.